Hello everyone, and happy Friday. Hey, it's Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates, and thank you so much for joining me. Today I wanted to highlight these two cards that I made using one of the Saleabration stamp sets, Watercolor Melon. As soon as I saw this stamp set, I was sold. I knew I had to get it somehow, and the way to get it is with a qualifying $50 purchase. So let me just show you the fun stuff here. Being the watercolor, you can see how it is not like solid. It doesn't need to line up. It's two steps as far as the inside of the melon, as well as then the rind, two separate stamps. It's just a ton of fun. So let me pull out the punch then that kind of goes with it. So this is the double oval punch that will punch out the full watermelon, and you'll be able to get this, and I'm going to show you how to do this piece then in there as well. So let me get going here, and I'm going to start with this card. It is an easier version. They're actually somewhat the same, but this one is stepped up. And so I want to start with this one. Did some stenciling for the background, which is what I love to do, the ink blending. So I'm going to bring that in. But in the meantime, Crumb Cake is my top folding card base. That means it's 11 by 4 1/4. Inside, I just stamped another one of those melons and the stamp set for the sentiment, because the watermelon stamp set does not have sentiments. So I used this one out of the mini catalog, the ice cream swirl. I just like the idea of the sweet and make a wish, yum. So that's what I used there for the sentiment. I have, hang on, let me get my stuff moved around here. I have a piece of the white that I'm going to stencil on. Now this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. That way I can layer it on top a piece of sweet sorbet that is 4 by 5 1/4. As far as the piece that the watermelon slices are going to go on, 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then this is garden green underneath, so 3 3/8 by 2 3/8. Had to make it simple for myself. Now I went ahead, I stamped the watermelon pieces and cut them out. I've already adhered them together just to save time. Now this one, let me bring the stamp set back. The one stamp, as you, the piece of watermelon, you can see has a bite out of it. So when I went to fussy cut, yes, I did some fussy cutting. I just went straight across on this, and then I happen to have a scallop circle punch that I used to take that bite out of then that piece of watermelon. So I am not going to be cutting around all those little scallopy things. I'm just that lazy. So sentiment just on some white, stamped in black. The back piece, then the layer behind, is sweet sorbet. So these are everything then. So let me bring in a piece of scrap paper. I'm going to actually move this out of the way. I already have my stencil, and this is from the Artistic Mix Decorative Masks. Stampin' Up! Does call them masks. I call them stencils. So whatever on that. So I have just a piece of scrap paper. I put a little bit of tape runner down there to help hold my cardstock in place. So I'm just going to kind of pop it down. This is obviously the same piece of that I used for my sample. I had a bigger piece of white. Obviously, you can see where the edges don't exactly match up, but I'm going to put it down. I just wanted to just leave the stencil there so I didn't have to do a lot of maneuvering around with it on the live tonight. So let me just put another piece of low tack tape that I have across the bottom here, just to hold this in place. I have crumb cake for the ink and a blender brush. I just grabbed out of my stash a blender brush to use, and it happened to be one of the small ones. So whatever size you want to use. So I ink it up. I wanted to kind of wipe some of it off because I don't want this to be too heavy. I am very heavy-handed when it comes to ink blending. So I really have to watch myself when all I want is a very light background then. So I find doing that, rubbing that off, and then I'm holding it by the handle. I find that if I do that, I'll show you here in a second why I say that, and as far as the fact that I feel like I can get a lighter touch with this. So I'm going to stop right there, I think. But with the handle and the pressure that goes on the paper, it moves a lot. So you're going to have lighter pressure by holding it by the handle. Normally, I hold it up here or put my thumb here at the head or hold on to it this way. And that, then I am putting very heavy pressure then with the ink onto my cardstock. So it's kind of on, if you want light pressure, hold it by the handle. If you're like me and want to hurry up and get it done, keep your thumb on there. It kind of holds it down, or just grab onto the head like this. So, all right, let's take a peek, see how this looks, and perfect. Yeah, I just wanted something light across there. Let's move this out of the way. Now I'm going to adhere this to my sweet sorbet. So, surprised that it's not designer series paper, I bet, huh? I was too. So, just wanted to bring in a technique that I love to do. Fill you in on an event that's happening next Saturday, the 17th. I'm getting together with some good friends. There's 3 of us total that are doing a springtime card making extravaganza, and we'd love for you to join us. So I will put a link to it on this video. I will also then pin a post on my Facebook business page as well, where you can still register for that event. We're going to have 6 sessions, various sessions throughout the day on next Saturday. And one of them I am doing is stenciling. So I'm excited to show you even more techniques than that I was having fun doing. So anyways, let me bring in now, you know what, how about the card base? Let's get that so I can get this adhered down. And then it's just a matter of building the rest of the card. Okay, now I have this layered up, the garden green and the white. Have all my dimensionals on the back. Yes, a bunch of them, I know. Love it though. And I'm going to adhere this straight down then to the card. I have my 2 slices here. Like I said, I already glued them together, and I also have some dimensionals on the back. So let's get this put down. And the sentiment from that ice cream swirl stamp set. I just have various sizes of punches. You can use obviously a circle die, a square, anything that you have in any shape that you want. And there we go. My favorite, I have my festive pearls here. I find I don't use the red ones a lot. So perfect perfect time to get a couple of them used. So, and there we go. I have one yummy watermelon card done using one of my favorite techniques, is that ink blending and the stenciling. So, okay, now a stepped up version of that card is going to be this card. It is a fun fold card. So let me show you that. So here we go. This is the bottom. The sweet sorbet is just a 4 1/4 by 5 inch. So it is what I'm calling the card base. All right. Next is a piece of crumb cake that's 4 by 5 1/4. Then, I'm trying to make sure I have things out of the way here. Then we have our designer series paper. This is garden green. It comes out of the Regal's 6 by 6 paper pack. And I found that using something non-directional works best. So keep that in mind when you try this technique. But it is a piece that is 6 by 5. All right, so just go ahead. So obviously you can use a 12 by 12, just cut it down to 6 by 5. And I then scored it at 3 3/4. All right, so there it is. Now it doesn't matter, since it's double-sided. I could have it the same way, or I could flip this around. Why don't we do that for the live and have the polka dots on the outside flap here, and then the stripes on the inside. So let's do that. Let me just find my bone folder. So there we go. We're gonna make it a little bit different here by having the polka dots here and the stripes then be sort of on the inside. So let me start building this, and then I'm gonna bring in the other pieces that go with this. So let me start with our paper. So it's just a couple little cuts, like I said, 5 by 6. And then to score it, this is the 6-inch side that I put, excuse me, in my scoreboard and did the fold then. All right, or the scoring for that, so I could fold it. So just a heads up on that. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down, because now let's take this flap away here. This measures 3 3/4 by 5. So that's how that fits on there so perfectly. And I want to get it onto my sweet sorbet. So it's garden green and sweet sorbet colors of ink as well that I did with my watermelon. I want to give you a little sneak peek of a different color combination that I used that is going to be part of that stamping, springtime stamp card making extravaganza that I was telling you about. So here it is, the same stamps. However, it's Bubble Bath and Granny Apple Green. So little sneak peek on just a different color combination, still using this same stamp set. So you'll have to register so that you can attend the sessions and see what happens with that. So, all right, so here we have all of this together. On the inside, let me bring this, is just a piece enough to be hidden behind the flap. So this measures 2 inches wide by 4 3/4 long. I just stamped again one of the watermelon, and the Make-A-Wish came from, again, that ice cream swirl stamp set. And I just want to make sure that it's in here far enough so that when I close the flap, it's hidden. If you wanted to put a full piece of white in there, you could even have, then if you had the white extending out here, put your watermelon stamp there. Lots of options. I just chose to do it this way. All right, now for again, the stamps, I have the full watermelon that I punched out with that double oval punch and this half slice. Let me show you what I mean as far as how to use that punch to get this cut out as well. So real quick, just have a piece here of the basic white. I'm not going to go too extra. I'm not going to stamp the seeds or anything on it, but I did want to show you. Okay, so there's the watermelon. Yes, all of that empty space or the variations in the colors meant to be there. So, all right, so let me now get that rind. Garden green is the color I'm using here. And very simple to line up. Don't even have to line it up. That's the beauty of it all. So, and there we go. You can certainly, like I said, stamp your seeds in there also. Now, here is the double oval punch. And for the full watermelon, you're going to punch out the whole thing. For this slice here, I'm going to actually probably need to cut. So let me do that first. And it goes in, you're wanting to use that rounded end of the oval to punch this out. And then all it is a matter of cutting this off. And if you're going to make several, now you have the other end to do the stamping again. So there you go. A punch to punch that out quickly, which is right up my alley, since I am like I said, self-proclaimed lazy stamper. So here we go. The white. Again, 3 1/4 by 2 1/4. Crumb cake, 3 3/8 by 2 3/8. Now I went ahead and stamped in garden green 2 of the leaf stems on this. So this is where I'm going to place then my watermelon over top. So let's go ahead and get this down. Now, as I was getting ready for today, I thought, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and get my dimensionals on. I like to be prepared ahead of time so that I'm not making you spend too much time watching the video or the live. So I went ahead and I slapped on all of my dimensionals. And then I realized this is a fun fold. If I had dimensionals on this portion also of this piece, I would have it closed. I would adhere it closed, and there goes my fun fold action. So don't do what I did by covering the back with the dimensionals. Make sure it's only on the half that you want on to adhere to the left, this flap here on the left side. Okay, so let me bring in the real thing. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down. Now, as far as where you have your leaves, whether it's to the left or to the right, I just opted for them to be to the right. Again, pay attention then the way you adhere this down and put your dimensionals, if you wanted it to be very specific, how you wanted the leaves to be facing. So let me go ahead and get this down. And I don't have any of my dimensionals showing, so I am good. Now, before I adhere, I already have these 2 glued together. As you can see, I goofed, so I flipped my cardstock over and stamped it again. But anyway, I adhered the 2 watermelons together. They're going to go right down here. But I want to get my sentiment up and under there first. Again, make sure to keep your dimensionals over to the one side so that you're not gluing your flap down. So because this whole top bit is going across this white piece, I'm putting a whole strip of glue there. Now I'm going to get ready to adhere this down. because this is popped up, I also have to have some dimension on this piece since it's hanging off and over. So let me, okay, so there we go. And now it's just a matter of getting all the paper backing off of the dimensionals on your melons and putting them down where you like. Okay, yeah, you know it. I need to put some of my festive pearls on there, the red ones. So let me find my pick tool. And I felt like this was an empty space here that I wanted to pop a couple of them in. And I wanted to bring one all the way down here on the sentiment as well. So there we go. Now I have another fun fold birthday card to send off to somebody. I love it. I love it. So let me bring the other ones back. And here they are. So think about this stamp set whenever you're placing an order. $50 will get you this set for free, and then you can just have a lot of summertime fun making cards, watermelon cards. So, and any color combination that you want. So, all right, guys. Hey, I hope you have a great weekend, great rest of your day, and I'm going to see you next week then. All right. Bye now.